Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Here on the Bitcoin chart, we want to take a look at the shorter time frame. Bitcoin has followed through to the upside. We've seen some significant upside action here in the recent hours. Let's say today during the New York session. Now, after the market close, we've seen a little bit of sideways action. But before we dive further into the micro price action, let me just read out to you one of the updates I sent through on X, on formerly Twitter, earlier today. Feel free to follow us here as well. You'll find a link in the description if you want to stay up to date, not only with additional updates. There are some updates in between videos, not as many as on our Discord for gold members, but still there are additional ones. But also there are a few changes coming for MCO. So if you want to stay up to date, feel free to follow us here. It's going to be interesting, I think. But what I actually wanted to talk about, it's about this one. So we obviously, this is 8 hours ago, right? So we saw this uptrend potentially start as a 1-2-1-2 setup. Just needed that signal, the break above resistance. The communication at the time was the micro support is holding. The overnight, very important. The overnight crash shares several characteristics with how Bitcoin formed significant lows in the past. Primarily, we had high volume selling on the way down. Yeah, it was a long night, I tell you that. We had a sharp support breach, just briefly though, but sharp. And then obviously a swift reversal. I have seen that in the past. I've seen that during the 2020 crash, March 2020. We all know what happened then. There was a swift crash and reversal at the time. No, there was no YouTube channel, but I was following the crypto charts. I was doing my own analysis for myself. And it kind of was similar, right? That is what Bitcoin, and that's maybe just an educational moment for some of you. This is how Bitcoin often forms lows. Capitulation, swift, very rapid, but only short. Break of support, not invalidation, just support. This is not an invalidation point. A break of support is not a problem. It's actually, you could say, the support area did hold. The buyers did turn up at the 92,660 level. Okay, we expected that level to be tested yesterday, and yeah, it was broken briefly, but only, and that's why it's sometimes not a great idea to have a stop directly below the support area, because during moments of high volatility, you can easily get wicks below, and then the buyers turn up, and it's like stop hunt, right? It's funny though that this 78.6 retracement has such a meaning, such power. But anyway, I told you that this is more like a qualitative observation, and everything hinges on whether the overnight low holds. So far, it's holding, and I could identify a potential 1-2-1-2 setup. That was the communication. So obviously we followed that throughout the day. So this again, just educational moment. In the future, remember that Bitcoin often forms lows like these, okay? Obviously, if it's invalidated, then it's a different story, but in this case, it wasn't. It still kept the overall bullish case alive. So we also had a break above the trend line, which was a successful trend line breakout. I can remove that now from the chart. And in this case, we followed throughout the day. I only want to take a look at the shorter time frame. In the previous video, I shared the daily chart with you. So I had here a wave 1, a wave 2, and another 1-2 setup, wave 3, 4, 5. Assumption is that circle 3 is likely complete. Circle 3 is likely complete. It's around the 238.2 extension here. It's very extended, which is fine. It's just a normal extension, which is typical in third waves, especially given that we had a 1-2-1-2 setup and we had a very rapid sell-off, so market was oversold. The reversal was not the cleanest here, the 1-2-1-2 start, but I remembered how it was, like the COVID low. So I kind of used that experience to say, okay, we see here possible 1-2-1-2, right? It was just very oversold. So the third wave then played out, small fourth. I mean, is that already the fourth? I'm assuming it. And I assume circle wave 3. I can't say it's topped, but it's sort of let's say the high probability element of the move is now done, right? Because that's the third wave rally. The third of a third is done. The fifth of a third probably to a degree. And now I'm just watching if the market can can hold support, which is now defined. Do I need to adjust it? No. Let me actually, I'm going to add some more FIB extensions above, because these would be the next upside targets. And I'm going to hide some of the ones below that we really don't need anymore. We want to keep the chart clean. So yeah, you see here, this is support between 97,567 and 100,157. This is support that needs to hold for upside trend continuation. Any break below 97,567 would most likely lead here to, yeah, basically to invalidation overall. That would at least be a first signal that it's failing. I have to assume it will be failing then. It could still be a diagonal then, yeah, but you know what happens when it morphs into a diagonal. It often doesn't hold. So one more high would be ideal. So I'm watching for that potential. One more high could target 104,620, for example. And then obviously we could call that, and I'll mark it with a question mark for now. We could call that a wave 1, right? And then we could get a wave 2 afterwards. That's the wave 2 pullback with a question mark. Then this is sort of it now ideal. So the high probability element of that move is done. The 4-5 pattern would be nice to have. Then we have a confirmation that this wave 2 bottomed. And then this here would be another 1-2 setup, and we can define support for wave 2 once wave 1 is topped, and then go. It's go time. So that's what I'm watching over the coming sessions. That's everything for now. What happens if we break support? I mean, then I will assume that the price will also break below the overnight low that formed here around 91,300, and we might see prices in the 80K region. Yeah, so this is a very important one. It's obviously only the first signal that it's going to fail, but that's what we would have to assume then, or the risk is increasing then for that. But for now, it's looking like it wants to hold. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.